I'm John Miglosh for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Let's dig right in. Here we go. Impossible Beef says they want price parity with regular beef. Impossible, you say? You know, it's just vegetables ground up. It's good for us vegans. I'm vegan every now and then. But otherwise, I'm on the carnivore diet right now. Okay, the FAA just moved drone deliveries one step closer to your front door. And it reminded me that it was 2013 when we started seeing drones delivering stuff, but it never happened. So don't hold your breath, because it's probably not gonna. Overpopulated areas. You could fly all over the place by where I live. That's where they need them. Anyway, this was a funny one. I had talked about Ryanair's jab and go ads. They don't have a policy of requiring vaccinations, even if vaccinations were available in your area. But they did this kind of fun poke at the whole coronavirus thing. And they ran an ad with a small bottle labeled vaccine alongside a syringe in a not too subtle attempt to inject some optimism into an anxious public looking ahead to the Easter break. The Advertising Standards Authority, the UK has that. They have this whole thing that, can look into claims of falsehood. I personally think that makes a little more sense than Facebook doing it, because they clearly just have one side that they're going to pitch. But anyway, COVID vaccines are coming, so book your Easter and summer holidays today with Ryanair. 1 million seats on sale from £19.99 to the sunshine destinations in Spain, Italy, Portugal, Greece, and many more. So you could jab and go. It's called the Jab and Go campaign. It's at odds with the local authorities saying the vaccine might not be delivered by then, and it's also at odds with their own policy of not requiring any kind of proof. But that wasn't their point. Too many vaccine needle jokes. They had 1,600 complaints and counting because it suggested that the vaccine would successfully be rolled out and that any minute now travel restrictions wouldn't apply, and others said it was trivializing the pandemic. I thought it was pretty funny, and I kind of commend them for taking a jab at the entire world. Okay, this was something I didn't know about. There's a security startup that sold 1 million 2FA dongles to Google. Google bought 1 million of them. And now 9 out of the world's 10 biggest tech companies use these little dongles. What that is a little USB key that you set up by putting your fingerprint on it. And it does second level authentication. So first factor authentication, 2FA. First factor is, your typical username and password. And I have enough trouble with that. I have all kinds of trouble with that. And I'm using LastPass, and it's sort of helping. But, if a website changes their login, instead of, login, let's say acme.com/login to acme.com join or something. If they change that, then, it doesn't know what it's doing. I got to look it up and all that. Second factor is text, email, or authenticator. So a lot of sites like Parler, whenever I use it on a different machine, it wants me to do the CAPTCHA, and it also wants me to do some text message. Today, I was looking at my Coinbase account, and they give me the second part authenticator, the text, the SMS message, and there was it said, use this code, and then there was a space, and then a bunch of numbers. So I cut and pasted it with the space, and I kept getting that, use the proper format for this code. Finally, I figured out that there was something up and that there was this space that was getting copied and pasted. So then I switched it to not having the space, and then it said, this code is expired. And then I got a new code, backed out of it, tried to log in again. It said it'll send me a code. And it said, the site is overwhelmed. You can't come in. There's a site error. It's not your fault. I said, I'm never using this again. So I had my style consultant buy me some Ethereum. Anyway, this Yubico, it sounds great to me. It's not, it's not some chip embedded in your head like Elon Musk was talking about. It sounds pretty usable. Apparently it's faster than a lot of this stuff. I'm always having trouble with it. So I thought I would call your attention to it. Yubico, it's not available as a, as a publicly traded company. So you can't invest, but they expect revenue to rise 70% this year. And now we go down the path of our direct mail for the day. Okay, Fallon Health Partners with RX savings. You could call it prescription savings. That's a kind of a shorthand for the word prescription. With Prescription Saving Solutions. Prescription Saving Solutions is a market leader tool for pharmacy transparency that enables more cost-effective decision-making to help the eligible Medicare Advantage members save money on prescription drugs. I could have that, but I don't, because I don't take any prescription drugs. My eye doctor said something like 50% of his eye patients were on everyday type prescription drugs for the rest of their lives. More Earl Grey. Oh, I'm missing my energy drink supplement, which I also love. Got to put that in. It's lemon. I actually got the company to make this. They had one that tasted like Hawaiian Punch. And I said, what you need is a good mixer. They said, what do you mean? I said, squirt. I mean something tangy. It'd be good with whiskey. Make a whiskey sour. Make a margarita. I put them in my margaritas. I also put them in my Earl Grey. Okay, it's really good. Anyway, so what happens is, let's say the prescription price changes. The Trump administration, most people don't know this, but they did some dramatic things with the price of insulin and other prices, requiring drug companies to give the U.S. customers the same price that they gave other countries. And so there were some dramatic declines. I heard this, secondhand from my friends. I asked people who take prescription drugs, did the price change? And sure enough, in many cases, it changed in half or more. So anyway, when there's an opportunity for members to save, Prescription Saving Solutions alerts them by text, right? We know that there's problems with text messages. By text, email, or direct mail. Probably whatever one they like the best. I think that sounds great, right? I think the mail might be best because I might not be out of my prescription, and the mail is the easiest to keep around, right? Okay, so the real-time information helps pinpoint drug savings opportunities customized for a particular member in an effort to save them on their drug costs. But I liked, again, we're highlighting that these mail options are around. They're coming more and more popular, more and more common. Okay? For a while, we all thought we could go just digital. Remember how Eric Nordstrom did the stock call a little over a year ago, said they had disappointing results because they decided instead of mailing their loyalty members their coupons to come in and redeem, they just texted them or emailed them. No, not a good idea. And the insurance company probably has an incentive to doing it. They'd rather have the generic or something else that they can save money on. Okay, now this one is from smallbusinessbonfire.com. I don't know what that is about. It might be an allusion to some of the rioting that happened this summer, but I don't think so. I think it's helpful tips for small businesses. But anyway, here's 9 reasons why direct mail is important for small business. Okay? Many companies invest heavily in digital marketing, but that doesn't mean direct mail should be put on a back burner. When combined with a digital strategy, actually that's an oxymoron, as we learned yesterday. Digital is tactical, right? That's like saying, I want to have a rifle strategy. No, you want a hunting strategy, and rifle is a tool you can use, or bow and arrow, I use a bow and arrow, or crossbow, or, I think New Jersey maybe has a permit you can get to jump out of a tree with a knife and jump on the deer's back and try to kill it that way. Anyway, so when combined with digital strategy, oxymoron, direct mail is highly effective. I would say that digital becomes effective when combined with a direct mail approach. Direct mail has the accountability, has the measurement to tell you what's really going on, and then you apply that to digital. So they got this backwards. But this is in Small Business Bonfire. How are we supposed to know if they know anything about direct mail or not? I just think it's great that every day I'm finding a new article, right? Now there's a danger, and you might want to go back to Monday's show notes or Monday's show, because then I talked about how selling mail is not enough. The last thing you want to do is sell mail to a big brand or a .com. Not that they don't need it. They need it like crazy. But they have to understand that it is a tool for building a heuristic system, which is a strategy for building a never-ending improvable and improving marketing perspective on your customers and letting them tell you what they want rather than the digital idea that we can guess what you're going to want next. So anyway, let's go to the 9 points. Direct mail cuts through the clutter, and as I've pointed out, it gets delivered to your home. That's something, right? Right there. It gets delivered. Mostly there's, of course, urban legends about postal carriers dumping a bunch of stuff, at the curb, but mostly they get delivered. Okay, it's much better than the inbox where you send your best friend something and it's in his junk folder. He doesn't even know where it went. Okay, so mail is way better to get there. Okay, the next thing is not everybody in the household cares about the mail like the decision maker. So it cuts through the clutter and gets to the decision maker. Okay, in our house with 4 kids and me and my wife, only one person could really throw the mail in the trash, and that was my wife. She was the decision maker in the household, as is really pretty common. I could go get the mail, but she makes the decisions, and I think that's very common. Plus, well, we won't go into all the other benefits of mail. So mail has 100% engagement and cuts through the clutter to the household, to the decision maker, at a time when they're open to reading it. Or they wouldn't be opening it, right? They wouldn't be dealing with it. You can set it aside. It won't go away. It won't throw itself away. It has to be dealt with. So it also creates clutter. Yes, I know, but that's also a benefit. That's not mentioned in this. Okay, mail can garner an emotional response. I didn't really identify with the copy here, but, I always tell you there's 10 times more neuron receptors in your brain for touch than there is for sight. Okay? And I think that's why it's more fun to go to a football game than it is to watch it on some flat screen. Okay? Direct mailers are useful and engaging. I think there is some engagement there. I get a lot of stuff here just because I, buy stuff and people send me catalogs and magazines and all kinds of stuff. And I think direct mail, because it costs 50 cents, $1, because there's some cost associated with it, we don't want to just send it anywhere. We do want it to get read. We want to make it as engaging and helpful as possible, right? We don't mind you throwing it in the trash. It's going to get there anyway. Now, another aspect is it's 100% recyclable, right? You can put the direct mail in the recycle bin. That's not one of the 9 points. It's another point I'm giving you right here for free, okay? Your collateral gets in front of more eyes. With direct mail, you're not limited to people who have access to the internet. I think that was the point was made with Prescription Solutions. Not everybody has SMS. Not everybody has the internet. Not everybody reads their email. You can reach customers who don't have social media profiles or even open emails regularly, right? Not only that, but it's scalable. And it's really not, that's not in here either. You can go get more customers. You can go get more names. It's not hard. You know, if you have some semblance of a geodemographic profile, if you have some semblance of that, then you can get more names based on geodemographics. It's really, really easy and not expensive at all. We can do all kinds of modeling with it. Mail creates a labeled data set to make machine learning actually work, AI work. That's not in this list either. You don't have to compete as hard because the mailbox is pretty empty, right? Direct mail, customers don't have to worry about printing out a coupon. They may not have a printer, or their Wi-Fi printer like mine only works when you don't need it. When you test it, it works. When you need it, it doesn't work. Printing out a coupon or scrolling through their inbox to find emails with the codes. I have that problem too. I love that my hardware store sends me a mail coupon. Direct mail is budget friendly and easily measured. They put measurable. That's an homage to the old direct marketing definition, which is horrible. And and I fought with Pete Hoke for years on it, and Bob Stone admitted it, that I was totally right. But direct mail is much more measurable or easily measured because there's like a chain of custody. And we know that it got delivered, and we know who ordered because we mail to their house, and usually they ship to their house. So even if they didn't complete the tracking code or do all the other stuff that we would like them to do, we know they were influenced, and we can see that they bought. And that even extends, because the engagement, 100% engagement, such high in tactile engagement, emotional engagement, all of that, even if they're throwing it in the trash, because we know they saw it, if they order through the website within a reasonable time frame, we can infer that it had influence. Much more clearly. You can also do holdout tests. You can not mail some people and see if it doesn't, if things go down. Whereas in yesterday's program, I pointed out all the people that were cutting their digital advertising and seeing no impact whatsoever. You get your customers used to mail and you stop, they will know. Your collateral has a longer lifespan. Yeah, it hangs around. It's great. Okay, it allows you to think outside the box. Now, I thought that was funny because, you can put mail in the box. Somebody asked me about that. Is that direct mail? Is that what you're talking about? No, that's package inserts. But it is in the same category. It has about half of the benefits that mail has, but it's still good. Not only can you do postcards, brochures, but I've mailed tubes of candy. I've mailed, boxes that rattle. I've mailed catalogs, like millions and millions and millions of catalogs. So it's not just box related. It's all kinds of formats, right? I knew a guy who mailed a 2x4, piece of 2x4. Another guy mailed a brick. Just put an address label on the brick. You can mail a brick. It's a little bit expensive because it's heavy. Right? I think a 2x4 might be a better value. But you can mail that stuff because you can, right? Anyway, I got a COVID mask a couple of months ago. I still don't know quite why I got it. It had a Trump thing on it, and but it was a message. It was something that it could come in the mail. A lot of things can come in the mail. Okay? You can do imprinted merchandise. So it goes on to say you need to create a mailing list. That's not exactly true because Everydoor Direct, you can just target local areas, pieces of a zip code, carrier routes, those kinds of things. You don't have to have a mail list to do mail. It's helpful, but you don't have to. And you can track back those addresses and see who responded and who didn't. See that? Because we have their physical address. Right? So if they order, you know where they came from. You know which list they came from. I'm not sure if you can do A/B splits. I think you can. I think there's a way to do it. But anyway, so there's just a plethora, I love that word, plethora of direct mail benefits for small business and medium businesses and large businesses. It's much more scalable than social media. Mass media is very scalable. You just don't know what's really working and what isn't. And that's the trouble. So mail gives you scalability and attribution. Those are both great. Anyway, enough for today. I'm John. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. We got another webinar coming up later in the month. It's going to be really exciting. So go to WDMA. Oh, and if you wanted to get in on the Matthew Parker webinar, if you join WDMA, I just sent out an email like an hour ago. If you want to get in on the WDMA offer, special offer in conjunction with Matthew Parker's training on how to sell value, how not to sell price, if you're selling mail and print, how not to sell price, all the reasons not to sell price. He's going to do a couple-hour webinar, I think a week from tomorrow or a week from today, the 14th. And that's included right now. Of course, once it happens, it's over. But if you join now, go to wdma.org/join, I believe is all it is. And there's also a link, button. And it's in the email I just sent you. You can get free admission included in the benefits of the WDMA. Thank you to Matthew Parker for that. That was great. Okay, have a great day. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.